Now, what is going on, guys? I see we got most people in here. Oh yeah, Steve, you don't respond to that email. You want to just hit the recording button. People that just jumped in or watching this recording be super confused. But Steve, yeah, don't go to that email. Send it through the support area in Dynasty. All right, so that goes straight to my email. So, anyways, guys, what is going on? Everybody hear me? Everybody, gonna just shoot a quick hello, say something, say hey, whatever. Again, much smaller, closed-off group than normal. So everybody, say a swear word, whatever you want to put out there. Cool. What is up? Carolyn, Andrew, Brian, Andrew, Scott, Steve, Martin. Everybody throw something out there. Nobody hide in the background. This room is too small right now for people to be like awkwardly silent. I will throw peanuts at you and I don't know, hit you in the face with a bucket of paint, and then you probably won't want to be a Dynasty member anymore. But okay, cool. Cool. All right. Well, I get everybody's kind of chiming in right now. So let's just dive right into it. Is everybody ready for the webinar tonight? Get a bunch of yeses. Yeah. I won't make you talk anymore. I'm sorry. All right. So here we go. Hey there. Same as usual. So real quick, I see we have a bunch of semi-new people here in the webinar before. I think everybody's seen the replay, so it doesn't really matter. Basically, just laying out what I'm up to right now and how it really ties in with what we're going to be getting into, because Dynasty is about to take a huge curve. I'm going to explain that here in a second. But what I'm essentially going into right now is I'm reigniting, just using that big word, reigniting my marketing campaigns for new clients in the medical industry. Right now, kind of one of the issues I have right now is I can't show off my ads or show off anything with giving away my exact tiny little niches. And it's actually to the point where if I told 75 people about my niche, it could become a pain in the butt. So I'm completely starting over a new marketing campaign to a different type of surgeon this time. And you guys are going to all be seeing that step-by-step, the ads I run, the calls I make, the positioning I do, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to also, at this point in time, design the new relaunch for Autopilot V2. We're launching that on the 15th. That's going to be very, very cool. I'm going to be showing you the whole entire marketing strategy behind that, so that you guys can basically see how, I don't know, how to launch an SEO service to make a lot of cash within a single day. And I'm also setting up a ton of new marketing material, all the ads, opt-ins, lead pages, all sorts of stuff like that, email marketing that I'm going to be doing for these new campaigns, new targeting of surgeons. So you guys are going to be seeing that all as well. And in short, you're about to see a lot of cool stuff. Does all that kind of sound really interesting to you guys? Stuff you'd like to see, exact ads and all that kind of stuff that I'm running? Cool. It's going to be a big yes. All right, cool, awesome. And what I really meant to say, and what I kind of tapped on here a second ago, is that we're crossing over. And what is the next slide? Say real quick. And up until now in Dynasty, we've kind of talked about mindsets, kind of understanding of marketing to high-end clients, kind of understanding of how to position ourselves, how to run our business, how to think, and stuff like that. Now, while all that is great, and I consider it absolutely essential, there does come a point where you have to get to the practical stuff and stuff like that. And the reason why, the first 2 months I focused on just building mindsets and understanding of how to position yourself is because it's absolutely essential, 100% essential. I cannot stress enough. I'm going to say essential like 5 times to actually being able to do this on your own. So you really cannot do anything until you understand all the marketing stuff behind it. I could give you a step-by-step blueprint, just put the logo here and then step-by-step follow color in the lines. And I really don't think a lot of people would have success with that, because success, I believe, comes from actually understanding and not really following a step-by-step anything. And this webinar right now is going to be kind of a more get your shit together kind of webinar, because we're moving forward. I'm going to be telling you everything you need to be doing right now, everything you're going to need, how to go get it right now, what you need to be doing, what we're going to be focusing on, and kind of setting up the whole next step of this, where we're getting into actual, practical stuff. And we're going to take all the understanding, all the stuff we've talked about so far, and that's going to be our toolbox to making all this stuff work. All right. So everything we've talked about is extremely, extremely important. It's the stuff that we're going to it's going to be the resources we're constantly jumping back to as we're using this other kind of stuff. But we're also going to be focusing on a lot more practical action steps when it comes to creating ads, getting clients on the phone, selling to people, creating a service, selling through webinars, using Facebook ads, using LinkedIn ads, buying email lists and marketing to the email list that way. Really, really cool stuff that just basically it's really hard to fail with when you understand the stuff that we've already talked about so far. So what we're getting into today, and the title of this webinar is the tools of leverage. All right. And we're going to be focusing on all the tools we need to create leverage with what we're about to get into. I'm going to be showing you the mental tools, the mindsets you need. You're going to need to. I drank like a protein shake like 5 minutes ago, and it like completely dried up my throat. So I'm like chugging water over here. It's like dry, awful, like seaweed. Too much information, I know. But we're going to be getting into like the mindsets you need, the mental tools we need, how you need to be thinking right now before we jump over to the next step. I'm going to be showing you the physical tools you need. I'm going to be showing you what you need to have to make these advertisements work, what you need to have exactly right now to make sure anything we talk about here in the future is going to work. And it's all stuff we've kind of tapped on in the past 2 months, but this is going to be like the, hey, this is what you need, exactly this right now, carbon copy, this is what you need to be doing. And we're going to be looking into all the tools we're going to become kind of accustomed with over the next, let's just say, I don't know, eternity in this. I have all sorts of cool stuff I'm working on now, even like direct mailing, like sending out letters and stuff to places. And so it's very, very, very cool stuff that we're going to be jumping into. So more importantly, what this whole webinar right now is about what we need to be focusing on right now. Okay, so everybody get that? Sound good? Oh, can everybody see my screen? I see Dave says, okay, cool. All right, awesome. So let's jump into this. And one thing I want to lay out there real quick is just like everything we're about to talk about, all the tools we're about to lay out, all the things I'm about to tell you, it all snowballs together. There's no one thing, in my opinion, that will make you successful at selling SEO or really selling anything online to a lot of people as using all the tools and using. Because no marketer is just one trick over and over again. And that's kind of how most things are sold online. It's like, just master this one trick and you will be rich. But that's not exactly how most marketers are successful. They're usually very, very good at a bunch of different things, and they combine all those things together to make like a little snowball that goes on a hill and gets much bigger. You guys know about that. So first thing I really want to talk about tonight is the mental tools. And this might be kind of one of the last times for a while we talk about mindsets, which I really think are the most important thing. But again, it comes down to tactics and stuff like that as well. Now, what I want you to do this whole entire webinar is there's going to be a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of I guess the word for this is kind of this is kind of more of an exercise webinar. It's kind of more of a strategic exercise to get you prepared for the next step we're wanting to do right now. So what I want you to do during this webinar, I want you to get like the little Mac notepad out. I want you to get either a pen or paper in front of you. I want you to get notepad out. Heck, if you want to just get a knife and like carve what I'm about to ask you on the wall, you can do that too. That's a little weird. Your wife and children might think you're insane, but do that right now. So everybody go do that right now. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to whip it out or whatever. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to whip it out, and then we're going to get going. Right? So everybody go grab a pen and paper. Everybody can shoot me back a quick yes or just a Y or a 1 or whatever you want to do when you're ready. All right, everybody just give me a Y when you're ready for when you're note-taking mode. All right. Cool, awesome. All right. Well, this is more of like a questionnaire. All right, so real quick, the first thing I want to talk about mindset-wise, and this is something I see that holds back just a lot of marketers in any niche out there, especially marketers that are already positioned really well in their niches, and I see this as something that holds back a ton of marketers. And the first thing I want to talk about before we get into any of this, because we're going to be selling to the high end, and this is something you have to master that will hold you back big time. And this is what I like to kind of call the no fear mindset. And you might be thinking I'm about to give you like some motivational speech on how to have faith in yourself and value yourself and stuff like that. And that's not what I'm going to talk about. Something I see that holds a lot of people back, and this seems really mean. All right, this is not the nicest thing. It's not the blessed and nicest thing to do. But a lot of people have a resentment towards selling. Like, how many people here almost feel guilty when they're selling to somebody, especially if you're selling for a higher price than you think you deserve? A lot of people here. I know some people might not have a problem selling, but how many people would feel bad selling, trying to get the maximum amount of money out of someone they possibly can? A lot of people here. Yeah, tons of people. And and what I'm about to say right here is, of course, when you're treating people right, your goal needs to always be to treat people right, deliver a quality service, deliver something that is just absolutely awesome, have an awesome service all around. But it's a catch-22, all right? It's kind of like an analogy I like to use, and this is kind of an inappropriate way to put this, but as a dating coach, it's something that makes sense. If a guy feels guilty, I used to teach guys basically how to go to bars and talk to women. If the guy goes to the bar, wanting to get laid, but he feels guilty about hitting on women, or he feels guilty about offending people, or he feels bad about being forward with what he wants. It's just two opposite kind of paradoxes that work against each other. And what I see a lot of people do, they get into this in SEO or anything really, is they have a very, they feel guilty about selling at one point. They feel dirty about selling. They don't want to sell for the highest price. They have a real bad feeling about selling. And it's completely, for lack of better words, it's incongruent with what you need to become wealthy. If you want to really become wealthy and attract a lot of wealth, you have to have no resentment about selling. Now, I'm not saying, go out there and rip people off and sell scams and stuff like that. That's not what I'm saying. But you also have to have good faith in what you're doing and be able to, just without feeling bad about, charge the highest price you can possibly get away with what you're talking about. You have to have no resentment about selling anything for the highest price. If you think you can sell it for that price, even though it's not technically worth that price in your head, you sell it for that. There's a lot of times out there, where people will avoid selling to people who they think, for example, like I knew a guy, or a good analogy I read in the book once was a guy who was selling fire alarms to a family who couldn't afford pots and pans. And the guy, of course, at that time, backed off and didn't sell the fire alarm. And then a week later, the family's house caught on fire, and bad things happened to him. And you got to see that, like, you should never feel bad about selling something. That was a horrible metaphor right there. I don't even think that made sense. But you should never feel bad about selling ever. All right, I cannot emphasize that enough. You should be able to try to sell to everybody you possibly can, as far as you can, no matter what. All right. Of course, I don't always follow that rule, but you have to feel that way. All right. You can break the rule if you want, but you have to feel 100% comfortable selling for as much as you possibly can to whoever you can, whenever you can. All right. So keep that in mind. All right. So you have to be comfortable charging as much money as you possibly can. If you go into a meeting, you go and try with a client, and you feel guilty about charging a high price, you're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to reel in $10,000 clients per month because you don't feel good about charging them that, and it's just not going to come through. And it's completely kind of the flow of social dynamics kind of thing that just won't work for you, and you won't attract wealth. All right, so you can't have bad feelings about attracting money to yourself, and you can't also do something you're not comfortable with. So the big point of this is you have to really master this mindset. And I could actually talk about this for a whole entire webinar because it's really, really important. Because I see a lot of people that have really positioned themselves well in the SEO niche, but they feel bad or dirty or that it's wrong to sell to people. And it just really comes around and kicks them in the nut, and it's just basically stopped them from attracting wealth. So you really got to get out of your way first off before you get to selling anything. Now we're kind of past that. Let's jump to the next part. So mindset wise, everyone in this webinar so far, we've talked about 2 months about picking a niche or kind of picking a high-end niche to start with or whatever. So just real quick, everyone in the webinar, how many people here have picked out a niche? How many people here have an idea of exactly who they're going to target right now? I see Quentin, yes. All right. How many people here right now have a giant, you have a big target? All right. All right. Electrical contractors, some sort of doctor. Okay. Everybody kind of go out there, just kind of throw out what type of niche you'd like to target. All right. Who's your niche? I'm not going to yell it out loud so everyone can have it, but really go out there. All right. All right. I see a bunch of good ones right here. All right. So what I want you to do, first off, is if you have that little notepad out there, pick that niche, right? And if you can niche it down even further, that's what I want you to do. One thing I see a lot of people real quick, they're throwing out stuff like doctors or attorneys, all right? And that's great. That's great, but that's not really niched down. How many different types of attorneys out there? How many different types of doctors are there? All right. How many different types of real estate agents are there? You really got to focus down on that real quick. So what I want you to do, if you picked out a niche and you kind of pick something broad, I see like auto service, I see plastic surgeons, I see business coaches and stuff like that. So yeah, someone said something offensive, but I want you to think niche down a little bit. All right. If you haven't, like, put your niche down in your little note, and then write we'll get a little bit deeper into that in a sec, or just write niching down a little bit further. That's the first thing I want you to do. If you haven't picked one yet, you really need to pick something you need to target right now, or where you're going to be heading, or whatever. And if you're new to this, go back, watch the past few webinars. But if you are have been here for a while, you've seen the webinars, you really need to get going on this right now because you're going to get left behind. Now, what steps are you taking, just real quick, just from everybody here, what steps are you taking to be perfect for that niche? All right, people here have probably picked what they have, but what steps have you taken to make yourself the perfect fit for that niche based on what we've talked about so far? All right, anybody yell at anything right now? Okay, Martin says, photo session to me in a suit. All right, Steve's done a case study site with awesome results. All right. All right, Bradley says building an SEO blog specific to his niche. Building a blog network, that's good right there. Body green screen light, still researching. Greg says got 2 clients. I guess you're doing all right. And that's all really, really good stuff, guys. But let's think about some other things we need to be doing right now. All right, this is kind of a more of a I don't want to say like come to Jesus webinar, more of like a holding everyone accountable webinar. All right. So real quick, if you haven't picked a niche real quick, I realize some people haven't before we get into it. You want to always go after a niche where the average price of leads is crazy. I saw a lot of people saying automotive, doctors and stuff like that. There's niches where you can get into there where the average price for lead is crazy. Construction, etc. I'm going to leave just a big long list of niches you can get into below this webinar on the recording after a minute. One thing I'd like to lay out there is lawyers are a very tapped niche. That's like the SEO niche of high-end niches that everybody and their dog goes after. So lawyers are a little bit harder to go after, and if you're just getting started off and selling stuff your first time, I would not suggest going after lawyers. Now, the best kind of niches to go after is niches that aren't quite online yet. That means they usually get their referrals from other sources. Really good example of this, what I've talked about multiple times, is plastic surgeons, but construction companies, commercial, anything, lighting, plumbing, companies like that, high end real estate, that usually get their leads from other sources and stuff like that. And in medical niches as well, hospitals a lot of times, like specific hospitals, and kind of stuff like that. I'll lay out like a big long list of them instead of shooting them off at the top of my head in this webinar. And the reason for this is because one thing I've found a lot of times, and I've seen a lot of times as well, is whenever you're able to go out there and connect a source of income or a profitable business to a means of distribution it's not quite in yet, it's usually really, really easy to make money. So for the most part, like dentists and like the lower end kind of businesses out there, the common ones you always see in the SEO niche, they're pretty hit up. But if you're able to find the places that are so used to high-end clients and stuff like that, and they really don't focus on online too much right now, you're going to be able to get a pretty good head start in that. All right, so just keep that in mind real quick. And again, I'll have a list of high-end niches and stuff like that after this webinar. Now, real quick though, I see a lot of people out there. They said, I blog network. I got some case studies in and stuff like that. But there's a whole lot more we need to be doing. All right, so what is your identity? What makes you unique to your niche? All right, who already has like can everybody hear me real quick? I saw someone say lost audio. All right, so real quick, and if you haven't done this yet, start brainstorming right now based on the things we've talked about in the past. What makes you unique to your niche? All right, do you have a special blog network? Do you have a blog network that's completely optimized for that niche? Does your website say we specialize in this? Have you created a book in the niche? Have you sat down and talked with people in the niche and find out what their needs are? What do you understand the niche? Can you sit around and talk about the niche? All right. Some just people throw some stuff out there. I know probably a lot of people are still, kind of wrapping their head around what we talked about in Dynasty, but it's really time to, put the pedal to the metal. This is all stuff we're going to need if you want to have success with all the stuff we're going to be talking about. So real quick, anybody out there, even if you haven't done this yet, I'm guessing maybe, 2 out of, 25 people here might have done this, but it's very, very important. All right. So what can make you unique to a niche? All right, Quentin says he's offering a complete turnkey system to business coaches, not just SEO. It includes coaching the site, SEO a lot. So you're going to be doing, something really different that's perfect for business coaches. Martin says working on my blog for business profit optimization. Okay. What else, guys? Let's really think of what's some stuff you can do out there. For example, with plastic surgeons, all right, specifically the niche I'm in. What makes me unique? I understand keywords and I understand what people are going to be searching for. I understand how people explain themselves online when they're looking for that type of stuff. I understand, and I don't want to give away my complete plastic surgeon right now, but I understand the symptoms that his patients feel. I can target those keywords. You know, I understand the keywords they want to go after. I understand his business. I understand the steps and processes he goes to getting leads. I understand, you know, just a plethora of stuff like that. Right. So that's kind of stuff I'm talking about right there. You know, I've worked with other surgeons in the past. I've gotten referrals from other surgeons and stuff like that. I have a blog never completely set up for surgeons. All right. You see kind of where I'm going with that. All right. I'm going to be giving examples, you know, and researching and stuff like that. One thing that I did first off when I wanted to learn a lot about the niche is I just talked to a surgeon. I helped him out for free. I'm going to be talking about that here for a little bit. But helping someone out for free, you know, helping them out first and working with surgeons beforehand. And not just surgeons, any business out there and stuff like that. You know, I've written just a little PDF that I actually sent out that explains, you know, exactly what's going on in that niche. And a lot of stuff like that. So everybody kind of understand that real quick. So everybody just throw out some stuff right here that you could make yourself unique to the niche. All right. Just the top of your head, doesn't have to be right or wrong. See, it's hard. I see a lot of people kind of are freezing out. First person to throw something out gets an extreme cookie. Exactly. All right, Brian just threw out guest speaker at a live event in the niche. All right. Specifically, there's a lot of things out there that you could also do. You know, thinking about specific, let's just say you have a construction niche, all right, and you know you understand, you know, the specific type of, you know, steel that's need to be in there, or you understand how to design the website in a certain way to attract more leads. If you understand, you know, if you've gone out there and you've held free webinars with tons of other construction companies, if you focus so primarily on them, that's what makes you unique and stuff like that. All right. So next thing you can ask right here, how can you be a celebrity in the niche you've chosen? And what makes you unique for the niche is a little bit broad, but what can make you kind of a celebrity in the niche you've chosen based on what we've talked about? All right. What are some things? All right. Yep. Someone said get featured in industry specific publication. All right. Be writing all this stuff down. You know, be writing all this stuff down. If you haven't done this yet, I want you to look back at the webinars and really ask yourself, why haven't I done this? You know, why haven't I gotten started doing this? Client testimonials. All right. There's a lot of things you can do to become a celebrity in a niche. There's a lot of things that I'm doing right now. I'm contacting a bunch of very, very well-known surgeons in the niche I'm going into right now. And I'm saying, hey, look, you know, can I just help you out for free for a little bit? I'll give you some free SEO. I noticed you're on like the second page, but you're well recognized in this, and this kind of industry field, or, you know, industry awards and kind of stuff like that. So can I help you out for a little bit for free? And maybe we can get like just a quick little testimonial going after something like that. Being seen with other surgeons, being seen working with other surgeons, having, you know, webinars with tons of other surgeons. So when a person comes to my ad, I'm able to post a big picture of a map that says I've helped surgeons all across the country, and I can mark off, you know, a bunch of different clinics around, you know, all around the country right there. Even if it was a free webinar, I've helped those clinics out. All right, all sorts of stuff like that. Writing a book, writing a quick Amazon book, being a bestseller in the niche you're jumping into. So keep that in mind, all right? And how can you be viewed as a Lamborghini option in this niche, all right? And this kind of ties back into the stuff we said before about being a celebrity and the stuff we talked about in the webinars before, but how can you be viewed as the ultimate option, all right? Just right off the bat right there, higher prices, you know, the way we've talked about positioning your ad being the authority, all right? You know, building that trust before, you know, what we talked about in all the prior webinars, building trust before selling and stuff like that, all right? Posting a very niche specific blog, all right? Exactly. Exactly. All right. So, you know, creating a LinkedIn group where I give away specific SEO for that exact niche. Exactly. All right. Everything you can do to position yourself. All right. So write down all the ideas, write down all the things you're thinking right now on your notepad. All right. Because right now, you know, and what I really want you to do, because you know, this all really ties back to the last webinars we've talked about, you know, and it would take me, you know, literally 10 webinars to explain everything we've talked about so far. But everything I'm talking about right here ties back to all those webinars. So if you're coming up blank on these things, you know, I can't even spout out everything we've talked about off the top of my head. Go back and watch those points where you're kind of loose in the cracks right now. Take what we talked about in those webinars and start filling out this notepad. All right. So now this stuff must be laid out. All right. What I want you to do real quick, you have to have a goal. You have to have kind of the general idea of where you're moving, and you need to be taking action in that direction. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to make total sense, but you need to have a path before you can follow it. All right. And the reason for that is, a long time ago when I first started designing SourceWave, back when I was just in, just a little cheap 5x10 bedroom with a mattress on the floor, I always had the clear mindset is I wanted to start an SEO blog. I wanted to have a blog where I had so much trust that I could send people anywhere and make money. I want to have a blog that would bring me endless clients. I wanted to be well-known and semi-famous in an industry for exactly what I was doing. And everything I did, launching products, creating a brand based around SEO, all tied back to that over and over and over again. And I thought all the time, how could I get semi-famous in SEO? I get on publications. I can make products. I can start getting all these people on my Facebook page. I can get this blog and I can start posting it all over certain forums. A whole bunch of other stuff I can do. I can talk to other SEOs out there. I can get really good at email marketing. Everything tied back to getting everybody back to this place. There was a blog, this big, powerful brand. All right, does everybody see that real quick? When you have to have all this stuff laid out. And what I want everybody to do is really go back to that kind of list we talked about so far and say, what can I be doing? How can I be doing this? And I want you to kind of keep this around you loosely. It doesn't have to be something you follow step by step, but all your actions need to tie it back into that. All right. And I had a really good slide. I think I might have lost it. But basically said, consistent, I've completely forgot what it said. I'm really upset that I lost that, but we'll just go on to it. So next thing I want to talk about real quick is the tangible tools. Actually, real quick, this is a really good quote that I had, and I want to remember it real quick. Give me 5 seconds. Okay, yeah. All right, so what you really got to have in your head real quick before you or even get starting everything is you have to have a constant direction you want to make moving, and you want to have a constant idea, like the big constant vision. All right, and I think that was next slide. I was talking about vision. If you have a constant vision that you constantly have set in your head, and you're constantly thinking about that, it's going to inspire just consistent action towards that vision over and over again. And if you have that consistent action towards that defined vision in your head, now it doesn't have to be laid out completely perfectly. We'll kind of make itself reality. If you do that every single day for a year, if you're constantly working for that, it's very hard to not get consistent success eventually because you're just always building back to this one castle. One thing I see, a lot of marketers get into, and especially when they get into SEO and they're selling, is they're constantly bouncing for all over the place. Like the general SEO marketers are constantly jumping between ranking YouTube videos, they're ranking websites, they're next trying to sell SEO services. They're always just all over the place. And when you don't have that consistent vision, that's something that's going to happen to you. And what's going to happen if you have this piece of paper, this notepad in front of you saying, this is who I am, this is my identity, this is my niche, this is what I'm getting into, this is how I'm going to do it, this is how I'm going to become a celebrity, this is how I'm going to attract clients, these are the things I need to do to get all this. And you keep focusing on that, it's really hard to get off track. It's really hard to not be able to find your way because when you're able to look back, every action you take, you're going to think with your head, all right, does that correlate to my vision? If it doesn't, I push it to the side. And that was one of the hardest things with SourceWave and also the easiest because when I was doing it, I always thought, does this correlate to the brand I want to build? Does promoting this product right here and making an extra $2,000, does that correlate to the brand I want to? Does learning a little bit of PPC correlate to what I want to do right now? Does this correlate to getting people here? All right, does everybody understand that real quick? All right, so someone said real quick, Scott said, hey, what happens if you decide on a niche and then you hear on a webinar someone else doing the same niche? This isn't really to the point where there's you're only competing with one client out there. There's tons of clients out there in any niche out there, so just keep that in mind. There's not enough people in the webinar really to, what's the word for it, kind of give you too much competition. So just keep that in mind. I mean, don't go out there and share your whole entire sales strategy, exactly what you're doing, and all your clients' phone numbers and your clients' names and your leads list and stuff like that. But if there's not enough saturation right here to really be insane amounts of competition. I can sit up here and say, I'm marketing the plastic surgeons. Rhinoplasty is a good route to go down and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So tangible tools. All right. Next tools of leverage. All right. Niche recognition. And it first takes niche understanding. Now, how many people here think they know their niche, in and out? Right? How many people know, everything that their niche is all about? This is something that, separates it, something that makes you unique. Right. I'm seeing if you feel like you don't know your niche in and out right now, just hit N, Steve says 70%. You know, see Bradley just hit mostly. You know, see stuff like that. So what are some things you can do on your niche to really kind of focus in? And this is all, again, going to tie back to how we create ads, how we interact with clients, all that kind of stuff. Who are the ground shakers in your niche? All right, is there anybody in your niche? Are there any companies? Are there any CEOs? Are there any recognizable people in your niche? For example, in the plastic surgery niche, within the surgeon, like everybody in niches knows each other. There's quite a few people that are great to have as contacts. You know, even if you do a little bit of free work for them, having those people as contacts is something that's really great. Right, that goes back to understanding niche. All right, what would a majority of businesses in your niche benefit from? Right. One thing I really want to stress is we don't have to just sell them SEO. We can also sell them, email marketing, getting clients back in the door, way to improve their business and stuff like that as you get a little bit further on. So, it doesn't just always come down from leads. Sometimes, it's reputation management where you're ranking websites back up and like ranking for reviews or stuff like that. Sometimes the majority of the businesses would need to, it would really benefit them to be featured on a few places. The stuff I'm teaching you right now, guys, the stuff I've been teaching you so far is also stuff you can teach businesses. All right, it doesn't just apply to SEO, and that's one thing you also want to keep in mind. If you want to really be worth your dollars, you can teach a lot more than that. But what would a majority of the business in your niche benefit from? And, the straight answer, is SEO, but better optimized sites, kind of stuff like that. Just think about that real quick. And we're only kind of focusing on high-end businesses right now. There's tons of other stuff we can talk about in Dynasty. This is just kind of the first, real step. All right. Other thing, what publications would your target audience read? What publications would they read? If where would they go? Where would they hang out? What places can you find them at? Right? Brainstorm that right now. Somebody just throw it out there. If someone said, just throw out a few publications. If you have off the top of your head, where would your client benefit or most be likely to find you at? And then see, it's a little bit quieter than it normally is in here. These are things you really need to think about. It's all gung ho and rainbows and unicorns. So I'm up here like shouting and saying all this motivational stuff, but you gotta, Steve Self says trade magazines and stuff like that. Really think about this stuff. This is stuff you need to know. Right? I'm not about to give you the practical steps until you have the ammunition to go on the practical steps. Right? Convention expos and stuff like that. I see trade magazines, but I'm not seeing the exactness that we need. All right, so just keep that in mind real quick. All right, so where would they hang out online? Do you know what Facebook groups they are on? Do you know what hospital, like for example, surgeons? I know what hospitals they work at, stuff like that. I know what Facebook groups they're in. I know what LinkedIn groups they're in. I know the email list they're on. All right, so where would they hang out? And you think this stuff is simple, but I guarantee 95% of people here right now don't have the exact answers for this. You might be thinking, you might be scratching your head saying, well, shit, I really don't have this niche mapped out at all. You can say, marketing to a high niche is as simple as saying, I can market to a high niche, but when you step back, you guys gotta do the groundwork. It's as simple as saying you're going to do it, and then you do it. So keep that in mind. And I'm seeing like a ton of stuff like that. I'm seeing like I want you to really think specifics. If you're typing in forums, LinkedIn, Facebook, that's great, but exactly where? What is the Facebook group we're going to follow in? You really want to think in that real quick. You want to think of the exact magazine, all right? So, and better yet, how can you find and get access to these sources? So just a few quick ideas, all right, on how you can reach these people right now. We've talked about this in past webinars, but a few things you can do right now to get started on all these, all right? Who are the ground shakers in your niche, and how can you get access to them? How can you get them? You think they would take free help? A lot of times people don't say, people call up trying to sell these businesses something. If you said, hey, I noticed you're on page 2, good sir, I'll get you to page 1 for free. If you just, maybe, give me some testimonials or something like that. You can say, by the way, I'm a, best-selling author. And remember when I always talk about the book, if you go on anywhere and say, I'm a best-selling author, you don't have to say you're on Amazon. But you say, I created an SEO book in this niche. I'm a best-selling author in the plastic surgery marketing niche. I'm just also trying to really get a good kind of, rapport going with the surgeon community at the moment. Just wondering if you'd like a little bit of free help. Do you think they do that? And right off the bat right there, you've helped them out a little bit. You can say, do you have any friends who might have this problem as well? Could you maybe say, hey, this guy right here, he did a really great job for me. Maybe you can give me a testimonial. Maybe if some of your friends are having the same issues, I know you probably know a bunch of other surgeons. You go, yeah, think of that right there. Just something simple like that, you know, just simple stuff, but you got to know who these people are. All right. What would a majority of businesses in your niche benefit from? And could you leverage this to get them into a webinar? All right. Now think about that. You know, you might not be ready to go out there and be like a business coach, right? You might not be able to go out there and coach conversions, but I guarantee you there's a bunch of stuff that your clients in your industry probably really are suffering from. You know, sending out emails to clients, just basic stuff we've talked about in Infinitum and what should we call it, Dynasty, this thing, stuff we've talked about in SourceWave. If anybody who's been here has been around SourceWave for a while, you know a ton of stuff about a ton of stuff. How could these businesses benefit from that? And how could you use that to get them into a webinar? If you said, hey, look, I'm going to show you how to design your website and attract more leads from your website. I'm going to show you how SEO, how to even optimize your page to show up higher on Google. You have to think of how you get all those people into a webinar really quickly. And that's from just knowing what they need. All right. What publications would they read? All right. Google niche publications. It's really easy. Medical publications. You know, I found out 4 or 5 different medical journals online today that I can easily contact. It's not that hard to get featured in those places too if you make some great content. This is why I always talked about the blog, guys. And it's all just, you can see everything I'm doing right now is tying together with everything we've talked into the webinars. You know, imagine if you create that blog, let's just say again about surgeons, all right? You contact these niche publications and say, hey, I created this really good piece that I think your reader base would really benefit from. You know, I'm not selling anything, but would you like to, you know, send people there? I'll create you a very similar piece. Just think about that, you know, using your blog to get your foot in the door, like we've always talked about before, you know. And where would they hang out online? What Facebook pages? What LinkedIn groups are they on? Where? All right. So Facebook pages, LinkedIn groups, you know, specifics, right? Yeah, all kind of stuff like that. And you know how a lot of times I help businesses a lot of times with other bad problems and stuff like that. I just read Dan Kennedy books all the time. That's it. And I say, hey, you know, I'll help you with this stuff right here. Yeah, you also need to get on my SEO service, but I'll help you with some other stuff too. And you just become, you know, very, very, very perfectly matched for the niche, right? Does everybody get all this stuff right here? So first thing I want to ask, you know, throw in a 1 real quick if this is, you know, kind of inciting some ideas of what you really need to be doing right now. You know. Yeah, see ones, you know, ones. Everybody throwing nobody. I want everybody smashing the 1 on their keyboard. You know, if you want to face roll or entertain yourself, everybody throw it in there right now because I can see everybody's paying attention by the webinar attendee watch list thingy. So throw in a 1. All right, this really needs. I want this webinar to really set you on path. You know, so you think, well, shit, I need to be doing this stuff instead of, you know, coming to a webinar every week and paying, you know, Becker $199 to make me go, wow, this is awesome. I want you to actually also sit back and go, this is what I need to be doing right now. All right, so niche trust. How can we become more trustworthy in our niche? All right, so first off, one thing I want everybody to really think about doing right now, I'm actually finishing this up right now. Actually, I'm actually getting my first authored book right now, like actually published book made in SEO, but I'm also creating, again, a book on plastic surgery SEO in Amazon. I'm just having, it's going to be 50-page ebook, real simple stuff, but I guarantee you I can just send a quick blast out and say, hey, everybody just go buy this real quick. Be a best-selling author on Amazon. Think of how much trust that would give you. If you called up a surgeon right and said, hey, I'm the best-selling author on let's just say chicken farming SEO, and you know I got this blog on chicken farming, and here's me, here's a testimonial from the top chicken farmer in the country. Here's me sitting down with him and helping him with the site. And by the way, would you like to attend my free webinar on chicken farming? You think a person's going to say no? No, they're going to go, holy shit. This guy's like the chicken farming Jedi Master Yoda. I want to know what this guy has to say. And that's how you get people to pay you a lot of money, right? Getting featured on related publications just for the fact of being able to post that on your ads, right? I don't tell you to go out there and get featured on publications just for shits and giggles. That's powerful shit when you're on an ad, right? It's powerful shit when you're able to take that testimonial, what I talked about before, by knowing the ground shakers in your niche and be able to get testimonials from, put an ad and say, hey, you know, here's a top rhinoplasty surgeon in the country. Here's a quick video of him saying, you know, Becker helped me out with a ton of stuff. Sure, it was free, but the people looking at the advertisement don't need to know that. I still helped this guy out. And if I'm good enough to work with that guy, well, I must be good enough to work with them. All right. Gathering proof and testimonials. Who right now? I saw Steve. He was the only person who said he's making case study sites right now. What I've been teaching you guys so far, I'm giving you the ammunition. If you've noticed real quick, when I'm talking about going back to ads, when I'm talking about emailing people, when I'm talking about talking to people, I'm constantly reaching back in my bag of tricks that I've talked to guys about you so far. I'm constantly doing that. And by not doing it, and not just taking what I'm saying and then understanding it but not doing it. It's when it comes time for you to actually take the practical advice I'm going to give you, you're going to reach into your bag of tricks, and there's going to be no tricks right there. You know, you want to have that magic. You want to have that arsenal of stuff you can reach back in. You know, every single time you talk to somebody like that, and then when you have this bag of tricks, anytime you sit down with anybody, I'm a best-selling author. Here's my blog on this. I've been featured on these testimonial or publications. Here's my testimonial with this guy. Here's this proof and case study right here. And just bag of tricks until someone dies and writes you a $10,000 check. All right. But you can't go out there and you can't take the practical advice I'm going to give you when you go to, because I'm going to be showing you guys how to get asked to speak at events. I'm going to be showing you guys, exactly how to approach these people like that. I'm going to be showing you guys how to use Facebook ads. I'm going to be showing you guys how to send direct mail. I've actually done it. I've gotten a few responses back. I'm getting better and better at direct mail. But I'm going to be showing you guys, how to sell through webinars and stuff like that. But you got to have this bag of tricks set up. You got to have this stuff, or it's all going to be useless. You're going to be reaching into, you're going to be trying to throw out all the things I'm telling you to throw out, and you're kind of banged or screwed. And that's one of the things I hear people ask about all the time. Well, Becker, what if I don't have your credentials? What if I don't have this? What if I don't have that? This is how it's done. This is how it's done. So think of all the stuff you can be doing right now. Especially if I see a few new people here. That's why you really want to go back and watch the past webinars, because all these questions and what you can be doing to achieve all these questions are answered in about hour-long to 2-hour-long content. So keep that in mind. Now, where's your niche destination, guys? Where's everyone hears about you going to end up? And I'm not saying, one thing also when you're thinking about your blog and stuff like that, it's not bad being a popular with doctors, but targeting surgeons as well. You don't have to make your blog or wherever your kind of HQ super, super, super targeted to like rhinoplasty surgeons who live in the area code of 7553. All right. But, where are people going to end up? Where's the HQ? Are you just going to be, a floating ghost on the internet? Where's the HQ? How many people have a blog set up right now? How many people have something that's impressive to send people to right now? Just give me a 2 if you don't have that right now. Yeah. See, I see in progress, working on it, 222. A lot of in progress. And I'm not up here giving anyone shit. It's not like I'm up here like throwing like water balloons at everybody who says that. I'm just saying like, there you go. Where are people going to end up? What on their blog is going to make them trust you? All right. How are they first going to see you? And again, you need to be writing this all down on your notepad. All right. And don't be like the kid who's too cool for. This is actually me at like seminars and stuff like that. I was like at Mario's conference, and he was like, everybody be writing stuff down if you've ever seen Mario Brown speak. And I'm like sitting there with like my computer, like I don't need to write stuff down. I'm freaking Alex Becker, and he's like, Alex, you gotta write stuff down now. And I wrote tough stuff down, and it was actually very beneficial. So don't be like me. All right. So how are they first going to see you? What videos are they going to see? What's their first impression going to be? All right. I showed you guys Kyle Gaston's website way back in the day. I showed you Melanie Duncan's website where they look like badasses. If this surgeon says, if you link them to your website, where are you going to link them to? What impressive things are you going to link them to? How are they first going to see you? Is there going to be a video? If they opt into your webinar, how are they going to see you? Is there going to be a video of you talking, or are you just going to have like a blank, just kind of ghost webinar most marketers have? Really think about that. What's the first thing you want people to sound like, to think when they come on your site? You want them to be wow, and that's the thing. If you don't have a place to send them, everything I'm going to teach you so far is going to say, well, all right, at this point, you want to send them to your blog, and then you want to send them to your testimonials right here. And at this point, this is when we're getting them into a webinar, and you're going to focus on the fact that you're well known so much with these, and these people. All right. If you don't have this stuff, you're going to be playing a lot of catch up. So have all this stuff. Think about this right now. I'll give everybody, a few seconds to kind of write that down. Okay. Okay, I'm going to continue now. So, niche branding. What's your brand name? Why is that your brand name? So real quick, what's your brand name? What does your brand name say? What do you want your brand name to represent? I mean, and all this stuff, guys, this sounds like, well, I don't need to think about this stuff right now. Back in the day, I'll tell you right when I designed SourceWave, the first time we even put up the site, I said, you know what? I want to have this brand name because it sounds cool. I want there to be a wave, right? I want when people come on the site, they're going to think it's like dark and cool and like edgy, all right? And I want the blog to look like this. I want the first time they come on the site to think, wow, this looks different than other sites. I thought I want them to see pictures of me. I want them to know who I am. All right. All this stuff is stuff I thought about. And you know, it wasn't all right when I first started SourceWave. It wasn't all right at all. In fact, it was a total cluster. However, I had that general vision in my head. I had that general mindset. I said, I want this blog to be cool. I want this blog to be the no bullshit blog. And you know, I wasn't good at most of this right off the bat. I wasn't good at shooting video. I wasn't good at any of that. All right, and that stuff works itself out. But I had the general vision. All right, I wanted to be top of the line. I wanted it to be sexy. I wanted it to be cool. I wanted to be very trustworthy. All right, and you can see how every action I've taken in the past year and a half, from being a person who has a net worth of nothing to a person who has a net worth of 3.4 million or whatever number we want to throw out there, it all ties back to everything I'm asking you right now. All right, and usually in everything I do to this day, you know, I said, what is my brand going to be about? It's going to be about just pure SEO rankings. Pure SEO rankings. And, you know, and that's something you see a lot of blogs out there, for example, mistake. I'm not going to name them out there because actually there's some blogs that my friends name, and they are successful, but because they don't have this completely laid out, I'm much more successful than them because, you know, they'll bounce around these different subjects. They don't have that exact idea laid out. All right. And what can you create that's useful for your niche? What tool could you create for your people or your niche? All right. What type of guide could you create? Right. I figured, you know, SourceWave, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together, you know, little guides. Like I always notice there's a big absence of very, very in-depth guides on every single subject of SEO. So I said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make really long ass posts all the time. I'm going to make like brandable names. I'm going to use funny words all the time and stuff like that. Really as detailed as you can get right now. Right. Really brainstorm. Now, I'm not saying go out there, create another SourceWave, create what's perfect for your niche, because really, in my opinion, if you want to get rich fast, I think selling to high-end clients is just the way to go. Selling services, software, stuff like that, you know, that's the way to go. Selling to the SEO niche is kind of a slow upward route. If you want to do that, by all means, you know, I will tell you how, but I think the fastest way to get rich, to get from like $0 to $10,000 a month, is just selling to high-end clients. That's why I'm focusing on this first. I'm going to be showing you everything I know about selling to every type of SEO niche out there. But just think about that real quick. All right. So how do you appear like? Are you nerdy? Are you sexy? Are you cool? Are you like overpowering like Donald Trump? Are you like, you know, like a mom blogger, like all independent and stuff like that? Are you like the Oprah? Are you like how would you lay it out there? You know, how do you appear? All right. And what happens, real quick, I'm just going to check the time, make sure we're still on schedule. And what happens, guys, is we end up with the all bases covered toolbox. All right, and those are all just a bunch of questions I really want you to talk to, or I want you to look back, and I want you to go back. Especially, I'm going to be timing between this webinar and our next webinar about 10 days, and I want you to go back and look at all this stuff, right, that we've talked about in the past webinars. I want you to look at all the ideas, and I want you to really go back and think of all these questions. And now the webinar is not even close to over, but you really want to go back. I'm going to be posting, you know, these slides and everything underneath this. And this is probably one of the most important webinars in Dynasty where you're going to have, because you got to have all this stuff laid out, because this is your toolbox. All right, this is like your little power penguin or your power animal you can always turn back to. When you need to get trust, you're going to reach into your toolbox and pull out all the things we've talked about to build trust. When you need to build authority, you're going to reach back to all the things we just talked about. And you're going to whip that on. You're going to use that authority. It's going to be like your little, I hate the word, like stamps almost. Like it's just like you can quickly just copy and paste authority, trust, idea right there, or tools or set or whatever you need to do real quick, wherever you're doing, whether you're designing an ad, whether you're sending an email, whether you're talking to a client, whether you're emailing a client for the first time, whether you're direct marketing, whether you're at an event. You're going to be able to completely tap back to all the things we've talked about over and over again. It's going to become like your selling toolbox. All right. So does everybody get that? You know. All right. Does everybody understand? Give me a quick one if this has got you thinking. All right. Give me a one if you want to expand your toolbox. If you'd like to have a toolbox like that. All right. And everything we've talked about so far, and all the things I've given you are ways to do that. All right. And you've got to have that toolbox ready when we do that. All right. So, and this is what's essential. And you can constantly jump back into this. When I'm going to be coaching webinars from now on, it's not going to be me up here saying, you know, I'm not going to be like the cushy person who says, well, you can just do this without any of this. I'm going to be completely expecting you to have your toolbox ready. All right. So because when I'm coaching webinars, when I'm building ads, when I'm telling you to contact people, I'm gonna say, hey, reach in your toolbox and get this, emphasize this, go back and get that testimonial, that case study you put before, put it right here. All right, I want you to put this, you want to press here, you want to emphasize X, Y, and Z right here, and you want to move this and this right here. All right, these are your playing pieces. All right. And I'm going to show you how to combine all the tools for a certain outcome. All right. I have my toolbox set up, and I'm constantly expanding that and stuff like that. But if I want to launch a product, and get more leads, I got my JVs over here. If I want to get a blog post out that markets to a certain person, I got there. If I need to have my trust signals out there, I can do that. If I want to emphasize that I'm socially liked, my brand and trustworthy, I can reach my Facebook page. If I want to make a client know I'm a big deal, I can say Google me. I can say here's my books, here's all my products, here's this, and that. All right. If someone wants to know if my SEO product or service is going to work, I say check out all these freaking rankings. All right. If you guys look at our sales pages, it's constantly just me reaching into the cool toolkit of stuff I created with SourceWave and putting it out there over and over again. All right, so you get that? Everybody understand that? Great. All right, so what are our weapons going to be? All right, what are we going to be focusing on in the next few weeks? All right. All right, ways of reaching our targets. All right. Now we understand our brand, how to position ourselves, and it's something you constantly going to be designing. We now need to reach our targets. We now need to be able to sell to them. This is just in relation to high-end clients to start off with. All right. And by the way, we are going to be using advertising. All right. But keep in mind, we'll never be really mass marketing. And I'm not really saying this to be like, no, anybody can do it. It's going to be all wonderful and stuff like that. But we're never going to be really mass marketing. High-end clients are not rare, but they make up a much lesser proportion of everything than the cheap, worthless clients that we want to get away from. All right. So we're not going to be mass marketing. It's never like we're going to be running with a big advertising budget. And at the peak of it, $20 a day might actually cover it. I'm not saying you need to start with $20 a day. I realize some people don't have $600 a month to invest in advertising right now, but it's all very within anybody's range, especially if you're only going through run rate at a time. So it's never going to be uncontrollably expensive. All right. So so we're only going to be trying to generate a few super high-end clients. We're not making a mastermind PPC funnel. All right. One of the big challenges with a PPC funnel is you have to market to a lot of people at one time, and you're kind of marketing the people that you can't really target them exactly, or it becomes too narrow for you to really make a profit. But when we're marketing the high-end clients, what I've talked about in the past, when we're building ads for them, we were making an ad literally for 3 people online. All right, so it's absolutely perfect for a few people and repulsive to everybody else, but that makes it much more attractive to another person. And it's too targeted to really be expensive. All right, we're going to have such low click-through rates on our ads because of how they're designed to scare most people away, but they're going to be so profitable, or they're going to be so high-yielding not to be profitable. All right, if you can get, like I said before, if you can get 4 high-end clients, let's just say you start off and you get clients at $2,500 per month. All right, you get 4 of them, you're making $10,000 per month, $120,000 per year. All right, how many people right now would be happy with just $120,000 per year? All right, just we're from 4 people. You just work with 4 clients, you make $120,000 per year. All right, that's good. Steve says no. The goal is, the real goal should be $50,000 per month. That should be your long-term goal. But I know a lot of people here would be really happy with $10,000 per month. I'm personally, I get really pissed off if I make anywhere less than $100,000 per month. In fact, my new goal is to make $200,000 per month. And again, I'm constantly thinking of new ideas and stuff like that. But you got to have that goal. All right. So just keep that really in mind. We're just trying to get 4 clients right now. If you're a little bit more advanced, we got Steve. I know we got a few other people here that are really advanced. If you want to go higher, you're probably in a position to charge a lot more money right now. So really keep that in mind. So with that being said, email lists. One of the things I'm really diving into right now, and you got to be kind of careful with this, but I'm going to be showing you guys how to use these. All right, here, one sec. Yeah, just one sec. And one thing you can do really easily, guys, and this is why it's so great to pick your niche. All right. And I'm just getting into this right now. All right, I just actually started experimenting with it. And I bought a list of about 500 surgeons the other day just to start playing around with it because I'm a very good email marketer. And I'm trying. One thing I really want to emphasize, guys, is I always really stick close to my bases. What I'm really good at is email marketing, and getting people to do stuff here. But you can see right here, you can buy the emails of 47,000 surgeons very, very easily right here. You can buy that out there. I'm going to be showing you guys how to write emails, how to reach out there and contact them and stuff like that. And I'm talking on the phone with these guys right now. And of course, I'm going to show you what to look for in email lists and stuff like that. I'm going to show you the questions to ask these people. I'm going to show you exactly how to get into it before you buy an email list. And sometimes we're not going to be buying the whole entire email list. Sometimes that can be pretty expensive. But I'm going to be showing you how to go out there and properly test and filter out bad offers and good offers. And if you can get a good list going, remember, we're only looking for 4 clients. All right, we're only looking for 4 clients. Right here, I might not use this list right here. This list right here could be total crap. I'm not saying go to Google right now, type in buy whatever your niches is email list, and run out there and just buy it and like spend like $5,000 on the list or whatever. I'm not saying do that. I'm not saying do that at all. And in fact, one thing you can do in Dynasty right now, one thing I really encourage you to do, because I would be nowhere, well, I would be somewhere, hopefully, but without my partner, you know, I don't know if I'd have as much success right now. If you're in Dynasty right now, why not partner up with somebody? All right, if you're doing all right now, why not partner up with somebody to make these investments together and go that way as well? Just a quick little thing right there. But all we're looking for is 4 clients. All right, that's kind of the goal right now, and that's what I want kind of everyone's kind of goal to be. I want your bigger goal to be like just freaking millionaire loaded. Like that needs to be your goal, and that needs to be the only thing you want in life. Like maybe if you want to be like a good dad and parent too, that will come, you know, I guess as well, or something like that. But really think about it. If we can yank 4 clients off a 47 surgeon email list, let's just say we got like a 2% open rate or something like that, or maybe like a 0.030% open rate. If we can get like maybe 50 people to attend our webinar, you know, there we go. And I'm doing a lot of research in this right now. One thing you guys got to understand is, you know, I have a lot of experience just creating cool stuff and stuff like that. And so, you know, this is something I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do. And so this is one tool to kind of keep in mind. Does everybody see real quick how easy it could be if you get your hands on a good email list? If you just pay a few $100s to get a good drop, a good advertisement placed in a good email list, you see how easy it could be if you know the right ads to get 3 or 4 clients. All right, you know, I'm not going to be up here saying, you know, guys, we're going to cold call it till we're blue in the face. All right, I don't like cold calling. It's stupid. You're never going to get a high incline doing that. Yeah, and I mean, but I'm going to be showing you guys tricks on how to get people to open your emails. I'm going to be showing you a way. I'm going to be showing you guys a way to get around Gmail's new little filter as well. So your open rates, so your emails go straight to people's primary inboxes and stuff like that. So this is just one route right here. All right, and I want you guys to get really excited because, you know, we don't have to make a massive breakthrough. We don't have to be advertising masters. Now we're going to be, this right here is mastery in my opinion, finding ways to get make maximum money with little effort. I'm not like a little effort don't work kind of person. You guys all know that, but how to just really reach your goals very quickly without doing all the other bullshit, without making 100 cold calls and stuff like that. How to get clients you really want. So does everybody, you know, everybody see that real quick? Everybody just see the simple potential of that. Give me a quick 1, you know, just a 1. And what I'm going to be showing you how to do with these guys, I'm going to be showing you how to use your toolbox in these emails. If it says, if you send a person an email, it says, you know, your niche bestseller is having a, you know, recognized whatever. We're going to just think about, I'm not going to like make a big speech headline right now, but you use all those things we talked about, massively trusted, all that stuff, authority figure, you put that as a headline, and you really use all that stuff to build yourself up and stuff like that. You could easily get 50 people to your webinar. And at the end of that webinar, you could have people enter their addresses or like whatever area code they're in. And you can literally create a map at the end of that webinar. It says, look at all these people I've helped in all these different cities. And you just keep building your trust over and over again. And heck, you might get 2 clients out of that webinar. And the way I'm going to show you how to construct webinars, by the way, guys, I've sold, you know, I've had webinars where I've sold literally $100,000 in profit. All right. I know how to convert and just pure awesomeness in webinars. I've gotten clients from webinars. I know how to make webinars very, very well. If you guys can tell, I think I do one of these like every 2 days or something like that. So I'm going to be showing you guys, you know, how to get people in, you know, from the email list to your webinar and sell them. All right. So keep that in mind real quick. Let's just hop back over to the PowerPoint. All right. All right. Next thing I'm going to be showing you guys how to do, and one thing, you know, I've been taking consulting on the past few months, is Facebook advertising. All right. I've been looking for people, or I've been getting consulting from a few people, you know, that run a lot of Facebook ads. I've been getting consulting with people who specifically target high-end clients on their Facebook attending webinars and stuff like that. And, you know, oops, this is not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about niche events. And what I want you to also do, and one thing I also forgot to mention real quick, as I go through these, this is stuff I want you to start looking into right now. I want you to start with the email list and stuff like that. I want you to start finding potential sources that you can get email lists from now. All right, you don't have to buy anything. Start flirting with the idea. Start finding it. So when it comes to the webinar, it's like, all right, guys, we're going to do email lists right now. I'm going to show you everything you need to know. You're going to be like, okay, I know I can go to vendor X, Y, and Z whenever I want to, whenever I have the sources. All right. Facebook advertising. What I want you to start doing right now is start combing up places where your target market might hang out. For examples, what I do with surgeons and stuff like that. Hospitals. All right, hospitals. You can set Facebook advertising to follow the people that like the hospital. All right, and very few people that don't work there are going to like the hospital. You can follow Facebook advertising to follow everybody that likes certain types of surgery. All right, I don't know why most people that there's going to be a few surgeons in that group, and I'm going to show you how to make the ads to attract those few surgeons in the group. It's not going to be like, hey, everybody that's on the surgery page, click my ad. But I'm going to be showing that. But first, go out there and really start brainstorming all the places on Facebook groups and everything out there. Start just searching around group Facebook and find out where these people might hang out. Heck, you could go out there. And here's a quick idea, guys, just real quick off the top of my head. Say you just called up a local surgeon and said, hey, if I could do a quick little questionnaire, I'll bump you to the first page of Google for like this really easy term. All right, they don't know it's an easy term, but like, hey, if I could just get a quick questionnaire with you, I'll get you more leads, like for free or something like that. Sit down with your target audience and say, hey, what publications do you read? What Facebook pages do you like? Do you know any other surgeons? What Facebook pages are they on? What publications they hang out on? What's the best way to reach you in your opinion? Right? Does that make sense real quick, guys? And that's just something I want to throw out there. Doing favors in return for knowledge about your niche is extremely, it just goes on and on, guys. Just give me a quick one if you think you could do that. Give me a quick one if you think that's just an easy idea. If you think you could get someone to talk to you for 5 minutes in exchange for more leads, yeah. All right. So knowing all this stuff, and this is the real beauty about marketing to a single niche. Instead of like general SEO where you really can't get your foot in the door with anybody, you become like a ninja at manipulating your niche into giving you money. All right. So keep that all in mind. And Martin asked a really good question. Can we target bigger corporations and stuff like this with these approaches? I have two answers for that question. Like bigger corporations, like maybe commercial, like commercial building or commercial real estate and stuff like that. You can market to them. Bigger dogs and smaller niches, yeah. But there's other things you can also do with this. Like imagine if we get really good at marketing to surgeons, we can use all of our surgeons that we've helped in the past and stuff like that. We can use them to get us recommendations to other medical professionals and stuff like that. So there's no reason why when you get good at one niche, you can't use a niche like that to kind of broaden out into a more different niche that's related to that niche, right? For example, if you go out there and you get really good with automotive dealerships, there's no reason why you can't use them to give you access to, I don't freaking know what automotive dealerships linger into. Maybe like I used to know a lot of auto vendors who used to also sell airplanes. That's actually a really good niche. You might want to look in the airplanes for sale. That's just something real quick that came off the top of my head. But I used to know a lot of people that sell cars, and they also dabbled also in selling airplanes and stuff like that. So you can say, I've done really good for you, like right here, right here, and right here. Do you know anybody in other niches kind of similar to this that might be interested in stuff like that? And I would just like to help them out, like I've helped you out right there. And I just want to start kind of also expanding. That's something you can do. Just keep that all in mind. So keep that all in mind. All right, niche events. What I want you to start doing after this webinar is start Googling, and this should all be on your notepad right now, guys. All right, stuff you need to do. All right, start Googling and get a list of events you can attend. Get a list of events you can attend. What you really should be doing too, if you had all the toolbox already set up, you could start emailing the people that are running these events and saying, look at all this shit. Look at the toolbox. All right, look at all the stuff from the toolbox that I have. Is there any chance I might be able to go to your event? I think I can give you guys some really quality information. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, we have a bunch of surgeons who don't know how to, we don't even know what SEO is. They would love to see that. Boom, right there. And I'm gonna be showing you guys how to get speaking parts and stuff like that. I've spoken at a few SEO events already. Haven't really attempted to really sell like I should have at these events. However, I can show you how to get your foot in the door and stuff like that. But start Googling these events, and usually the more niche down the event is, the easier it is to speak at it and stuff like that. Examples. One sec, let me. Oh yeah, I'll talk about that here in a sec. But everybody think about that real quick. And I know a lot of people here might say, what if I don't want to speak? Well, then what if you don't want to make money? One thing, if you really want to make money as a solo act, I think you need to be good at speaking. I think you need to be good at talking to people. And if it makes you feel any more comfortable, when I was 20 years old, 21 years old, I was the most socially inverted mother in the whole entire world. All right. I was weird. It's weird. I'm still weird, but I was like awkward, never talk weird. And I've transformed myself into a person who can talk out of his ass for hours. All right. So, keep that in mind real quick. I'm not going to really ever pull any punches in this group. I'm going to give you the plain and simple. I'm not going to coddle you and tell you the bullshit other people are going to tell you, that you can just be an idiot and not be special at anything. I want everybody in this group to be like the Tony Robbins of their niche. All right, so keep that. All right, keep that in mind. So go out there, start Googling a list of events you can attend. Start using Google. All right, it's a great thing, and start finding a bunch of events you can attend and stuff like that. Start really diving head into it. And as I'm saying all this, guys, tap back to those kind of power penguin questions I had to you. What's your vision? Who do you want to be? All right, and it's all gonna start laying itself out from there. If you constantly bounce back to your power penguin, all right, that's what I'm gonna call it for the rest of Dynasty. All right, pre-sold niches. All right, one thing you can do right now, we talked about it a little bit earlier on Source TV on the other day, but start ranking for those long tail searches. All right, I didn't lay out there in the Source TV episode. This is a great way to attract clients. All right, if you can say, hey, I'm going to start sending you clients from here. Would you like me to start helping you rank with more searches? They say, hell yes. I'm going to say, okay, cool. What I'm going to do, actually, how about we just rank your brand actually right underneath that? All right, how about we rank your brand right under that long tail search? And then, hey, wait, let me make you a YouTube video. All right, and I'll rank you under that search as well. Do you see how I just found a way to sell them 10 more things after I got my foot in the door? If you call someone up, the dumbest freaking thing I ever hear, and I don't talk about this on Source TV or Infinitum because I save some stuff for you guys. I save the best stuff for you guys, really. And people are like, oh, wow, it's so easy to sell leads when you're already first in Google. Yeah, but you know what that means? It already means you have the foot in the door to sell them 10 more different things, all right? You think they don't want their YouTube video? You don't think they want their own personal site up there? You don't think they don't want you running their paid advertising for those searches as well? You don't think they want you optimizing their pages? You don't think they want you doing all this shit? All right. Boom. All right. And on top of that, there's a lot of places out there that are franchise and stuff like that. Specifically, if you get in real estate and stuff like that, and you hit up some bigger companies, you can break out. You can get into franchise deals where they're paying you $10,000, $12,000 per month to handle the SEO for the whole entire franchise. So keep that in mind. So everybody see that real quick. Everybody see why you need to be going out there and ranking for kind of pre-sold niches right now. That's where you go out there and you already rank for the keywords. Yeah, it gets your foot in the door. It allows you to say, you can say, hey, I'll give you leads for half off. Speaking of which, would you like more leads? Now they're listening. Now they're talking to you. All right. Basically, Andrew asked, do I explain pre-sold niches in an earlier webinar? I really did not, but I'm going to be talking about that a little bit more in this. But it's really explained on Source TV in a decent amount, but I will definitely be getting into that if that's an interest. If you guys want to hear more about that, I will definitely get into that. And this is just stuff we're going to be covering in the next few months, but I just want you guys to realize that, playtime's over. It's no longer good feelings and, puppies. It's time to fucking go out there and do the things I talked about and then use it in one of these tools, all right? Because you can't use these tools unless you have the things I talked about, all right? So on top of that, go to webinar and lead pages, all right? And that's just one thing I kind of have that. I didn't copy or put anything new right there, but we're going to be really getting into go to webinar and using lead pages, how to create lead pages that convert, all right? And that's just something we're going to be showing a little bit later on. So just keep that in mind, kind of wrap your head around that. Start thinking, of potential webinars you can run for your audience. I'm going to be giving you guys ideas. I know that's something you can't exactly pull out of your butt right away, but start thinking of webinars. Start picturing yourself talking in webinars to, groups of 30 or 50 people. Start picturing yourself using these tactics that you've seen me use before, getting people pumped up about webinars, the lead page and stuff like that. Start thinking about how you can angle that for your niche. It doesn't have to be right now, right? It doesn't have to be right. In fact, it never has to be right, all right? It just has to get done. And if you keep getting stuff done, it's eventually going to be right. That's why it really bugs me sometimes when people get into nitty gritty details before they even take action. It's you don't need to be talking about the exact type of CPA offer tracking system you're going to be using before you even know how to rank or get a lead. So really keep that in mind. And finally, what you can also be thinking about right now, just some ideas that really get you going, knowing your niche and understanding your niche, ways you can reach them. All right. So for example, say you went out and you helped a hospital for free in order to get your foot in the door with the head of marketing of the hospital. If you called up an hospital in your area right now and you said, hey, I'm the authority on surgeon SEO. Again, we don't have to use surgeons, but I'm just saying like, hey, I'm a bestseller. I've been featured here, and here. And I'm trying to kind of just get my name out there in the area. And I was wondering if I could get your hospital on the front page for a few search terms, 100% free on me. All right. And they'll say, yeah. Okay, cool. Is your marketing director there? I just want to see if I can, get some searches. I want to hear what he wants to do. I'm going to help you out. This guy completely for free. All right. And by the way, I've made my clients a ton of money. You're like, hey, I'm a big shot. I'm going to grace you with my presence for free. Then imagine what happens if you get the hospital some results. You go, hey, speaking of which, I know I helped you guys out for free in the past. Do you have any surgeons on staff that might be looking for some marketing as well? Oh, yeah. This surgeon right here, this surgeon right here, this surgeon right here, they're all, not getting as many leads as they used to because the doctor down the street is being a dick and is being a jerk. So, they need some marketing. Would you like me to recommend you? I'll call them up beforehand. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, that's awesome. You see that right there? I use association marketing right there. Now think about that. If you call up like a big real estate club or a great real estate association or like a networking group in your local area and you say, hey, first off, can I join your networking group and can I do all your SEO for you? I'll get you guys ranked first for like Dallas networking and stuff like that. Speaking of which, I've ranked back when I used to be an agency director. That's exactly how they got all their leads. They would rank the networking groups in Dallas like first, and then they'd be like, hey, who else would like these type of results? So think about that real quick. Go out there, find the clubs your target audience hangs out in, join the club, and then help the club like head of it, or help like the people in the club like rank for stuff, and be like, hey guys, you all like that? And everyone would be like, yeah, that's awesome, yeah. And you're like, would anybody else like that? And be like, well, yeah, I'd like that. Boom, guilty through associations right there. Chambers of commerce. One thing also, it's really funny. I'm joining Lamborghini. Can everybody hear me real quick? Can everybody hear me real quick? One thing I'm going to be talking about a little bit later on is affluent clubs, and this is something I really got into. And what affluent is basically short for is rich people. Like right now, one of the biggest reasons I got a Lamborghini is for marketing. All right, you guys have probably seen on my Facebook and stuff like that, constantly taking pictures of the Lamborghini. It's not because I really like the car, but it makes me look successful and gives me ways in with other successful people that like Lamborghinis. All right, I was able to hit up this author of this major marketing book. I was able to hit up this guy that owns a major software company because he has a fascination with Lamborghinis. And what I've done is in Dallas, I've been able to join, a Lamborghini club, and everybody in that club is a millionaire and owns a business. You see why I do that? Like even I could at the moment probably write my Lamborghini off as a tax what's it freaking called? I don't even know. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to get in trouble with IRS. But I can do that, and you see how I'm doing that to join affluent clubs. If you're a golfer, join golf clubs where rich people hang out with. If you're a person that is, I don't know, find Rolex clubs. Find clubs with people that have lots of money. Join them, all right? I'm not saying go out there buy a Lamborghini, but if you want to go out, what you could do, like if you're a person who's in that like classic cars and stuff like that, or restoring old cars and stuff like that, this thing off my head, go join these clubs, do SEO for the clubs, help them get more members, and then say, hey, by the way, everyone, we got 5 new members last night because I did SEO. Does anybody here work for businesses that might need this? Just like that. And you know what's going to happen too, is I'm just saying, like, yeah, tax write-off. Thank you, everybody. Business expense, tax write-off. Alex, you're an idiot. But yeah, you can literally just write that off, and if you're in the 40% tax bracket, that's almost like a free Lamborghini. So keep that in mind. But yeah, be going out there and join groups of people that are successful people, and then help out the group. And then if you do that, you're part of the club. People buy things from their friends. All right, think of that real quick. That's some very easy ways to get association or guilty through association marketing right there. Helping out the people that are in charge of places, using the heads of marketing or stuff like that, helping change of commerce, helping networking clubs in your local area who might have it, going and finding surgeon clubs, going and finding surgeon associations, charities, all right? Like, for example, go out there, help the Red Cross or something like that. I helped the Red Cross a while back for no real reason. But if I'd been smart, I would say, hey, I helped you guys out. Do you guys have any, businesses that might want these type of results too? They go, oh yeah, here's like a list of 1 billion people that like have money and donate. Just like that. All right. So does everybody see that real quick? That's a really powerful thing you can walk away with right now. But start getting a list of places that you can use guilty through association marketing. Start writing it down. All right. I think that might be it. All right. And then finally, what I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a lot of with this toolbox is, designing epic ads or epic ads. And we're going to get into this a bit in the future, but I'm going to be showing you guys, some direct marketing tactics I've discovered that I'm planning to use. I'm actually testing right now. I'm not a direct marketing expert right now, and and to me that means mailing actual physical stuff to people. And one of the easiest ways I think to get in contact with a person is just to send them a letter in a normal envelope. Very, very weird, but still one of the easiest and most reputable forms of marketing if you know how to do it the right way. And I'm reading a ton of books on that right now. But with all that being said, we have to have the toolbox in place to do any of this. All right. And that's the direction we're going after this webinar. All right. There's no more good feelings and stuff like that. So the homework I have for you guys is get your shit straight. All right. There's going to be 10 days before our next webinar. Get your shit straight before we get into this webinar. All right. Try and fill out your toolbox as much as you possibly can. Filling out that toolbox with everything we've covered so far. I didn't tell you to make a blog for fun. I didn't tell you to get make a book for fun. I didn't tell you to go associate with authority figures for fun or all the stuff we talked about. It's to fill out your toolbox so you can effectively use all these. All right. All right, so just keep that in mind. It's gonna be 100 times easier. Say you join like a surgeon club. All right, it's a group of surgeons and stuff like that. You help the club rank, and you go, by the way, everyone, I'm a best-selling author in surgeon marketing. When anybody like my advice, they go, yeah, I'd like more money. There you go. All right. Next thing I want you to do is start creating a list of all those potential sources, the Facebook places where they'd be hanging out, clubs you can join, pre-sold niches you can start ranking for, niche events you can attend. Facebook groups you can start following, email lists you can start buying. Have all this on your little Rolodex. So when I say, let's do this, you can just hop to it, pull out your little Rolodex of cool, handy shit, whip out your toolbox and get to work and start making money. All right, so everybody see that? Cool. Everybody think they can do this? All right. Give me a one real quick if you think you can do this. Okay. Exactly. And this is just what it's all about, guys. We had to get the understanding out of the way, but it's really time. Oh, I got a stuffy nose right now. It's really time to do that. All right. So cool stuff. All right. So everybody, this is kind of the end of the webinar. I think I actually kept decent time tonight. Only went an hour and 18 minutes. This is kind of the end of the webinar. I just really wanted to prep you guys. All right. Is everybody excited? Is this the kind of stuff you're looking for real quick? Does everybody feel this is worth a ton of value? All right. Everybody feel like that. Everybody feel like this is a good webinar. Everybody like it? Awesome. See lots of hell yeses. Cool. Awesome stuff. Woo! All right. Well, this was kind of more of a kick in the ass webinar. Does anybody just have any random questions about anything we've covered in Dynasty so far? Yeah, I think everyone might be a little overwhelmed right now. Brian asked real quick for pre-sold niches, ranking first in advance. Do you put their content on your site? Do you just do a redirect? Just give them a lead? There's a lot of ways you can track it. You can put like a little get a quote now box. You can actually have phone numbers that people call from there. What I usually like to do beforehand is I'll set up like just kind of like a get a quote now box on the website, and I'll get people to opt in through there, and then I'll track it through that kind of stuff like that. But what I really like to do, and that's something, what I go for right now, because I already have a little bit of sway in my niches. I know to get them. I really like to target people and get them on a contract first. All right, pre-sold niches are a great way to get clients as well. However, I only have I now have 5 clients as of a week ago, but I only have 5 clients right now, and the ways I've gotten them are all through different methods. All right, I haven't, I know all this stuff right here, But sometimes you can just get enough clients from Facebook ads. Sometimes you can get all your clients from an email list. Sometimes you get all your clients from niche events. It's actually very, very easy to go to a niche event and get all the clients you need right off there. If you can go out there and speak well and really market to them, then you're set. You don't have to be doing all this at once, but it's great to be able to. So Martin asked, real quick, and if I asked about corporations, I mean like big banks with 10,000 person staffs type of business, that's going to be kind of, I'm not going to sit here and tell you can't get that person as a client, but if you're a solo person, it's usually better to target the kind of like those businesses, like let's say Bank of America, all right? They probably have like at least a team of like, I don't know, 1,000 people working on their marketing. All right. So like businesses that big, it's kind of hard to get your foot in the door with them. I'm talking more, like a construction company, or like, for example, like the robotics company or not the automation company I work for or don't work for. It's a client of mine. They're a big company. However, they're not really online yet. Like if it's a big bank or like something that's already online, like a big brand already, they've breached the online world. That's going to be a little difficult. But if it's like there's tons of companies out there that make millions upon millions of dollars. Like the automation company that I work with makes $100 million a year, but they're not really online. So kind of keep that in mind. Oh yeah, kind of keep that in mind. Quentin says, "You think an $18 PPC is a little too much to go for?" That's really high. I'm going to show you to get much much lower EPCs or CPCs than that. So, and one thing I'm going to be showing you how to do that. So don't worry about that. And also, even if you have to pay that much for it, I'm going to show you how to maximize the amount of clicks. All right, the way I design my ads are like borderline offensive, so that only my target audience will click it. Hey, Andrew, I'm looking at your niche. That probably wouldn't be the best niche to make because they probably don't have, $2,500 per month to give out. Um, I would say maybe, big event planners, like the people that plan really big events in local areas, like the events that like Mark Cuban would throw or something like that. They kind of more that kind of deep. So good, good. All right, so I see a lot of the questions dying down. Everybody enjoy this webinar. I'm about to close it off. Cool. Awesome stuff, guys. Well, this will be posted up tomorrow. I will see you guys then. We got a whole bunch of stuff to go to. Awesome, guys. All right, I will catch you later.